Recession.
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 But now, a country is staring at an economic crisis.
My next guest thinks both recession and inflation risks remain elevated.
Japan and the United Kingdom have fallen into recession.
Recession is a term that's often thrown around, but let's understand what it really means.
पता चलेगा कि अच्छा रिसेशन स्टार्ट हुई है, प्राइसेस सडनली इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे हर चीज के।
हाँ, सो बेसिकली फॉर एग्जांपल जो मेट्रो सिटीज में रहने वाले लोग हैं उनको रिसेशन पता नहीं चलता। जैसे जो भी इन्फ्लेशन के नंबर्स आते हैं, राइट, हमारे नंबर्स बहुत अलग होते हैं। ये जो मिडिल क्लास है या फिर नीचे आप जितने जाते हो उतने रेट्स क्या है, टमाटर के रेट क्या है, दूध कितना महंगा हो गया है। तो मुझे लगता है हम लोगों को कम समझ में आता है ये सारी चीज़ें। रिसेशन ये हमको सिर्फ तब समझ में आता है जब जॉब कट्स होने लगते हैं या जॉब्स नहीं मिल रही है मार्केट्स में।
Recession is when the economy goes down for more than 6 months. This means the business go down, people spend less, and the economy also gets smaller because of all the issues. A lot of MNCs are laying off youths because of lack of funds. Let's see how people think that the youth can cope from all this anxiety.
I mean, I don't think any stage of life is sort of immune to layoffs, right? I think there's layoffs happening at mid-stage levels, layoffs happening at every stage of the company.
I do not understand how to cope with financial strains. It's something that I think I would take help to learn or to do, but it's not something that I feel that I can do it on my own.
I think there are two parts. A is to identify the reasons you were let go. I mean, if it's just purely because of recession or somewhere where a job surplus, or is it purely because where you were in that place, your skills are not required anymore. But again, I strongly feel that whatever you do in whatever field, if you're adding enough value, there has to be a company or maybe your own thing out there that you can take those skills to and do it. So either it's an opportunity to upskill or improve your skills, or it's an opportunity to find somewhere where your skills are more valuable.
I'll be honest, when I heard whispers about recession first, I was kind of demotivated. I started questioning if my efforts are really worth it because, I was gonna get laid off anyway. Let's see if our audience also feel the same way or if they have any positive impact when it comes to dedication towards their work.
I'm a founder. I think for me it's more of a motivating factor, and I've just come to learn how to live with it and just kind of keep it on the back of my mind and use it to motivate myself. Yeah.
I feel like people in general take their work more seriously when there's a recession going on because their ass is always on fire thinking about the fact that they might lose their job tomorrow if they don't put their 110%. Generally, whenever the market is good, people don't take their job seriously.
It would, because you're confused as to if you should be doing good enough, if you should not be doing good enough. So it's kind of like a confusing loop that you're stuck in.
Not really. I think being lucky enough to be in tech long enough to know that even if with or without job you have enough stuff to do, and because there are no office barriers, even in a recessive market there are opportunities to build stuff that are useful to people. So if you generate value, I think in any job but specifically in tech, I think it does not affect your dedication to your work.
When you lose your job, it's common to feel worried, anxious and sad. These tough times can really affect your mental health. The constant worry of financial stability, finding a new job and unknown situations can be a little stressful. Let's see if any of this takes a toll on our audience's mental health.
And of course, the idea is there's always tomorrow, right? So if things don't work out, that's not the end of the day. People are taking decisions that are risky everywhere. Yeah. And some of them have made it because they've taken such decisions, and some of them have not made it, even if they took very risky decisions. That's just the reality of it, yeah.
Of course it does. I mean, what kind of a question is that? You would have to be very privileged to not get anxious or even stressed out by the fact that there's a recession going on. If you don't come from a privileged background and where you are on your own, you don't have generational wealth and you're working on your own and you rely mainly, your main source of income is your job, and the fact that because of the recession you might lose your job or your company might shut down and you won't be able to find a new job. So it definitely brings a lot of anxiety.
I think it does. I think it makes everyone anxious because it kind of causes a fear of being unhappy at your job but still not wanting to leave because you might not get another one probably, and it just causes that anxiety that what do I do now? There's nothing, there are not a lot of options that you can go for, so you have to stay where you are.
But yes, I think it's not more than the recession, the reasons of recession make you a bit more nervous, the global crisis, wars, all of that. We understand it's a bit cyclic where recessions do come after a long bull market, but the length of recession as it keeps increasing makes you a lot more anxious.
It's important not to let recession get the best. You can stay strong by focusing on maintaining your finances or investing in yourself. That way you're also distracted, but you also know which path to take. Surround yourself with supportive people and practice healthcare. Keep a positive outlook on every situation. And by the way, we also made a small segment to check if AI is causing job stress and anxiety. Let's check that out as well.
For example, yesterday they announced the full-fledged AI software engineer, which is first in the world that can do everything a software engineer does. And there are many jokes floating around that it's probably time to go back to farm or look for something else. I don't think it does make me anxious sometimes, but as well as I feel it's a great opportunity where good engineers or people in tech can leverage AI to become better at what they do rather than worry about AI taking their job. I don't think AIs are going to replace humans. I think like every technology that comes in, the roles that you play changes. So instead of worrying about tech taking your job, it's our job to make sure how to use that tech to maybe do our job more efficiently or better, or find new ways to add value or contribute.
Remember, tough times don't last long. This phase will pass too.